Okay, now for more analysis on the Apple event, I'm joined by Denmark West, advisor at K1 Capital Management. Denmark, thanks for joining us. So Denmark, a big day for Apple. Mark's talked a lot about the new gadgets, but I want to talk quickly a little bit about one of the other big surprises, and that is that Apple said it's going to be giving its operating system for free. Now, does this mean that it's really threatened by Microsoft in terms of the PC operating system? What is our takeaway from this news?
So there's a couple of ways to think about it. I think that the best way to think about it is that they have squarely positioned themselves as a device management company. And in so doing, they've changed the business model for people who are software-oriented companies. To the extent that you can give away the software for free to enable an experience on your device where you make most of your profits, you make it difficult for people who don't have a device strategy. If you then think about what the new strategy for Microsoft is, or at least what was announced when Steve Ballmer initially said he was going to restructure the organization, is that they were going to move more into being a device-based company, in part because they could see this trend coming. You are living in a world now where the software is going to be much more difficult to charge for.
Right.
And this is actually the continuation of a trend.
We shouldn't read too much into this, that Apple is moving so aggressively into the PC market now with the free software. Doesn't mean that there are no new devices on the horizon.
I think that they're trying to find ways to lock people into the ecosystem. You know, I think one of the trends that you can see is that Apple has done a fantastic job over the years of combining a software experience with a beautiful hardware device. And now they're integrating those much more deeply so that people don't have to think about it. If you think about the barrier to adoption that's usually the highest, it's the price of the upgrade. If you think about $200 for a software upgrade, that now is something that they don't have to think about.
Now, speaking of upgrades, I want to talk a little bit about the iPad Air. Okay, so it's 20% lighter, a little bit faster, a little bit thinner. Big deal. Is it going to make me upgrade from my existing iPad, or is this targeting new customers? Or do you think it's exciting enough to make people want to upgrade?
There's a couple of groups of people. There's people who are very fanatical about the latest product, and I think this will appeal to them because it actually hits the early adopters. You know, this is the lighter, the faster, the better battery life. It's the story that upgrades are supposed to have. And then there are people who have the mentality of, I have what I need, this is good enough. There's still a significant base of users that are still on iPad 2. So when you think about the sort of adoption curve and upgrades, is it going to appeal to some people? Absolutely. Is it going to be the massive upgrade like you see with iOS 7, where they've got over 50% of the people upgraded? I don't think you're going to see that kind of upgrade for the newest iPad.
iPad mini says it now has the Retina display, sharper resolution. Again, a game changer?
I think the challenge in most of these announcements is that they're all about upgrades versus innovation.
Yeah.
So the upgrade is it's lighter, it's faster, it's got longer battery life, but it's not about here's a new thing that we're bringing to the market that's going to innovatively create a new category, which is what Samsung did with the watch.
Well, a lot of people were saying, where's the iWatch? We were hoping to hear something about it at this event, and we got no new devices, and the stock didn't really react to that.
So you could make an argument that the stock has been making a run in anticipation of an iWatch announcement. So Samsung beat them to the punch, but people thought that Apple was going to fast follow with an announcement today. And, you know, people were probably just a little bit disappointed that they didn't hear about it. I don't know when they're going to actually make an announcement. It seems pretty clear that between Sony and Samsung, Apple will also try to get into this market. But we'll see what we'll see what they do. I think the smartest thing for them to do is to get it right. The key for them is to not necessarily try to be a sucky second, but to actually be the first to get it right.
But Denmark, the big picture for Apple is where is the innovation, and we haven't seen any post-Steve Jobs. And that is reflected in the share price, which is down 18% over the year. Is there hope on the horizon here?
So it's down 80% on the year, but you can make an argument that it's up 15% over the September lows. So it's actually done pretty well rebounding in the last month, in part because people were anticipating this new suite of products. I think that Tim Cook had a reputation coming in as somebody who manages well, who operates well. And when you see this slew of upgrades, that's exactly what you see. I think the challenge that you're going to find is how do you get to the new categories of innovation that can be the fuel for growth in the coming years. And it's an open question.
So what was the most exciting thing about this event other than the pre-event hype?
I was going to say the pre-event hype.
That's it?
that's kind of it. I think that because they didn't have the iWatch or any of the kind of new innovative thing that we were kind of expecting or hoping for, it was okay, but it wasn't what we were hoping for or what we've kind of grown accustomed to.
So somewhat of a lackluster day from Apple. We're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much, Denmark West.
Thank you very much.
Advisor at K1 Capital Management.